Hello everyone, today I will talk about a less interesting and less pleasant topic that is nonetheless important because it is kind of hurting the spaceflight community here on YouTube and elsewhere, and to some degree even damaging NASA's reputation, and so I wanted to talk about this. Don't worry, I will make another video today talking more in detail about the orbital mechanics of TESS, and I will keep this video kind of short. But there have been a few YouTube channels that do what I would call fraud live streams. And what that means is basically they take pre-recorded video, they put it on a loop, they call it live, they put it into a YouTube live stream, and obviously you can do that quite easily when you have any live streaming software. You don't need to actually use a live feed. You can put a video in there, put it on a loop, no problem. And for you, that is of course incredibly profitable, and it's basically like clickbait. You can take the highlights, the most spectacular parts of some past event, and thus keep viewers more interested, or even better, you can claim that something is happening live right now, which actually isn't. I won't call out any names, but there has been a YouTube channel out there, and you can find it quite easily, that has for, I think it's about 2 weeks now, been live streaming the same Falcon 9 launch on a loop, calling it something like Live Falcon 9 rocket launching right now, and there is a tiny disclaimer in the video that it's a replay, but people don't notice that, and I've seen people react to that. Like, I've had friends on Facebook, again, not telling any names, but I've had friends on Facebook posting excitedly about how they're watching a rocket launch live right now, a week after the rocket actually launched. And that is, I mean, that's not just clickbait, that's plain lying to people. That's in a way even worse. That's lying to people about things that are supposedly happening right now and you can watch live. And I might be a little bit biased about that, but like, some countries have some relatively strict laws about this, because when you have this level of range you do have some sort of responsibility, and live streams are basically classified as something that is somewhat pressuring to people, because you basically have the idea that this is live and you can watch it right now, and then it's over, rather than a video that you can watch at any time. So technically, if I did that, that would be illegal where I live. Moreover, there's been another live stream, and again, it's easy to find. I'm not gonna call its name, but it's the biggest, most popular, and the first one you will find when you search for these terms. There has been a supposed live stream of the ISS, which is years old recording of a spacewalk put on a loop. I think it's not even a very long loop, something like half an hour or so, so it never gets night, and they sell it as live. If you look into the description and you read through paragraphs of text, you'll find a tiny notice that this is recorded footage of a spacewalk, but it still fools enough people to be successful, and it fools enough people to do actual damage. Like, I've had arguments with flat earthers, I've had many arguments with flat earthers, where the flat earther at some point would link to that live stream and say, hey, I've seen Australia or something in this live stream, and it was day, but it's supposed to be night right now in Australia, so NASA's ISS live stream is fake. Which of course isn't true, because that is not NASA's ISS live stream. That is a few guys setting up a live stream of a looped video and calling it live and calling it official, which is kind of a problem too. The name kind of makes it sound relatively official, as if this was like the official NASA live stream. So I just wanted to give a short warning that if you see something like this, you might not want to support it, you might want to call it out, you might want to report it. Now, this is not just me versus them. There are plenty other good sources. There are some other YouTube channels that live stream from the ISS, which do a much better job than that live stream. Some of them do things like, when it's night, they loop back the last day past, like 45 minutes ago, but that's pretty obvious, and that's not really a problem. Of course, if you want to go directly to the source and watch the only actually official live stream from the ISS, you don't find that on YouTube. You'll have to go to Ustream, which is spelled just in one word, just the letter U, stream, .tv, and then you'll find channels actually run by NASA themselves. I can link those in the description. There's also things like ISS tracker pages, which even if they're not official, are usually relatively trustworthy and relatively reliable. So there you can really just Google ISS tracker if you like. And then of course there's my own channel. There are a few other good channels on YouTube. Here I can actually call out the names because in this case I'm actually saying something good about them. So for example, I can recommend Space Videos is a channel that does relatively reliable and truthful live streams from the ISS, and yes, their name is just Space Videos. But in general, I can end this on the sad notice that all you can really do, if you see something that is actually a live stream, like it actually says in big red letters live now on the YouTube search page or the YouTube recommendations page, then and you do a few seconds of research and it turns out this isn't actually live, then please report that, because that is kind of spreading like a cancer right now through YouTube. For kind of obvious reasons, these channels tend to get more viewers than all the truthful channels combined, and it's kind of like the worst case of clickbait, except it's kind of worse because it's literally lying about what it's reporting while making a semi-official appearance, and thus even delivers arguments to flat earthers.